Hello and welcome back. Our topic today is the EU AI Act, an important regulatory framework that's shaping the future of AI today. And here to discuss it with me are Ruth and Jörg. Hi.
Hi.
Let's jump right in. So first of all, how can businesses get ready to comply, and why is this act so important? So what is the EU AI Act and what makes it so significant?
Yeah, let me describe it from a practical point of view, because we are a software company and therefore can't provide legal advice. Yeah, the EU AI Act is a new regulation by the European Union, and it's meant to manage AI risks and ensure responsible AI use. It categorizes AI systems into 4 different risk levels. So starting with systems with unacceptable risk, then high-risk system, limited risk systems, and minimal risk systems. And the level of risk determines how stringent the requirements imposed on the system are.
The AI Act is about balancing innovation on the one hand and safety and ethics on the other side. The EU seeks to really foster growth in AI, but not at all cost. So it's about leveraging privacy constraints, safety, and security.
I see. And so we talked about unacceptable and high-risk AI systems as a category. What differentiates those?
Well, on top, we have the unacceptable risk category. If you do things like mass surveillance, social scoring, or facial expression recognition in order to check whether your employees behave accordingly in a customer situation, then just stop it. It's prohibited from now on. And that's for good reason, right? And the next level is the one that most people think about right now, because it's crucial to determine whether you fall into this level or not. It's the high risk level. High risk is, for example, when you have images about cancer detection and you need to check whether someone has cancer or not, or when you are in education, for example. Education is a wide field, that's why I choose it now. There are things in education that are without any risk, like providing recommendations to pupils what they should do next. Or on the other hand, rating exams based on AI. This would be high risk. Or checking an application for university if someone is good enough or not. This would also be high risk. So it depends on what you're doing. And if you fall under this high risk category, then from 2026 on, there will be different rules that apply for you. So it's about transparency, security, and quality, basically.
I see. So can you walk us through the remaining 2 categories, so minimal and limited risk?
Yes, sure. So an example for limited risk AI systems would be customer service chatbots. And they don't really pose serious risks. So there are not many strict requirements, but the EU does require some transparency measures. So companies must at least inform their users that they are interacting with an AI system. And then we have minimal risk AI systems like AI in video games or spam filters. And those systems are basically exempt from regulations. However, the EU still does encourage best practices even for those minimal risk systems.
Does everybody in the AI supply chain have the same duties, or who's responsible for what?
Yeah, basically, there are 4 different roles. We have providers, deployers, importers, and distributors. As a provider, you really create AI. So if you train a model, you are a provider. Then if you are a deployer, this means that you deploy the model somewhere or that you install it. Then you use it, basically. A distributor and an importer are the ones who bring AI to the EU from the outside and distribute it inside. And all of these need to make sure that the things they are dealing with are compliant. So that means, yes, everyone has to follow the rules, but on a different level for sure, because as a deployer, you cannot check whether the quality restrictions are followed throughout the whole pipeline. But you at least need to make sure that it's compliant what you deploy and what you sell and so on and so forth.
I see. So it really is a team effort across the entire AI lifecycle in a way, right?
Yeah, exactly. So each role plays a part in ensuring transparency and accountability. And yeah, they all work together to ensure that AI is deployed responsibly.
Yes. So what are steps that companies should start taking in order to make sure that they comply with the EU AI Act?
Yeah, it starts with a self-assessment. So companies need to identify which risk categories their AI systems fall under. And if they identify any high-risk AI systems, they need to make sure that they have clear processes in place for reporting and transparency, because they'll have to show compliance through documentation and audits.
And adopting MLOps, because MLOps, you basically do the same as in DevOps, but for machine learning. It's machine learning operations. You build up a pipeline that's documented and auditable in the end.
Right. And actually, let's talk a little bit more about MLOps and what makes it so central for complying with the EU AI Act to have that in place.
Well, first of all, the EU AI Act wants you to document many steps. And MLOps helps you to set up a pipeline that is automatically documented. It starts right at the beginning where you have data. You have different kinds of data. You have training data, testing data, holdout sets, whatever. And this data exists in different versions. So there's also a data version control. And there are tools like DVC, for example, which help you have this versioning also for data. Then you have versioning for your code. You have hyperparameters that you use for the training. And at least these three influence how your model will be built in the end. So then you run your training and receive some result in form of a model, which has some values like precision recall, F1 score, balance, accuracy, and whatever. And then you can take the model to the next step, manual QA, for example. And all these steps need to be documented in order to make sure that the model is in a quality that you want to have. And right at the end, you deploy it somewhere and it runs. And when an auditor comes to you and wants to see which model runs where, what data, and so on, you can show it. And once you have set up this process, this will run without any further efforts.
Yes, and beyond transparency, MLOps also supports continuous monitoring. So if you have any high-risk AI systems, you need to monitor them for issues like bias or inaccuracies. And MLOps tools help to make this process easier. And if there are any audits, MLOps provides the proof that you have managed your AI systems responsibly.
Yeah, and that's important. So what are key takeaways for companies watching this with respect to the EU AI Act?
Yeah, I would say start preparing early. So AI compliance can be complex and the EU AI Act is complicated. And just like with GDPR, non-compliance could mean big fines. So it's important that you determine the risk level of your AI systems and establish clear processes that align with the Act standards.
Yeah.
And consider MLOps. It's, I can only repeat myself, but it will increase your professionalism. This is something that you can also show to your customers. Look at my process, everything is documented. This is how I do AI. And this will increase the trust. Because you can show your process, you can open it and can show them, hey, this is what we did, all our QA steps and so on and so forth. Everything is documented, we do it great. And this is what the AI Act is basically about. It's about increasing professionalism of AI development in the EU.
Yeah. Thank you for your insights. I think we've clearly seen that the EU AI Act is not just a legal necessity, it also provides an opportunity, in fact, to build safer and more transparent AI solutions that are all around better, actually, also for your business. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Please make sure to also check out the CID website. We have a blog post ready for you there on the same topic that gives you some more details and extra info. Thanks again and goodbye.